Ever notice those small local railroads? You see them sometimes, right?
Yeah, they often have these surprisingly deep histories.
Totally. So today we're digging into one in western North Carolina. It connects Statesville and Taylorsville.
Ah, the Alexander Railroad Company, the ARC.
Exactly, yeah. Also known famously as the Junebug Line. It's just this 18-mile stretch, but wow, what a story.
It really is.
Our mission today, let's say, is to uncover how this railroad, which was honestly facing the scrap heap, became so vital.
And stayed that way for, what, over 78 years now? Based on the history we've looked at.
It's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's rewind way back.
To the beginning, 1887.
Right. The Statesville and Western Railroad gets chartered. The goal was simple: link Statesville, which was already, a rail hub,
A significant junction point, yeah.
link it to Taylorsville. And it connected with some bigger lines then, like the Atlantic, Tennessee, and Ohio.
And the Richmond and Danville. So it was plugging Taylorsville into that wider network from the get-go.
But then fast forward a bit, 1894,
Southern Railway steps in, takes it over.
and it becomes their Taylorsville branch, just, part of the bigger system.
For a while, yeah. But then comes World War II, and afterwards, things change.
Yeah, Southern Railway starts looking at its network, economics are shifting.
And this sort of rural branch line, well, it looked expendable, right?
That was slated for abandonment. That was the plan.
A pretty common story for lines like that, unfortunately. Less traffic, maybe higher maintenance costs per mile for them.
But here's where it gets good. 1946. The locals weren't having it.
No, local businesses basically said, wait a minute, we need this.
They got together, formed the Alexander Railroad Company, and they bought the line. All 18 miles of it.
And folks like L.P. Zachary and his son Sam were key figures in making that happen.
Apparently, they got it for practically nothing, like scrap value.
Imagine that. Buying essential infrastructure for scrap value, it really speaks volumes about local initiative.
Absolutely. Saving their connection. Okay, so that nickname, Junebug Line, where did that come from?
Well, there are two main stories floating around.
Uh-huh.
One involves a congressman, Romulus Linney, and the local Hiddenite gems. He supposedly joked they were so valuable.
That a Junebug could sell enough gems to pay for the railroad. That sounds a bit folksy.
It does, yeah.
Yeah?
Adds color, though. The other theory is, maybe a bit more straightforward.
Which is?
Their early locomotives were painted green, like a Junebug.
Ah. Okay, that seems, well, plausible. Probably the paint.
Probably, but, stories stick.
So the line itself, it's that 18 miles, Statesville in Iredell County to Taylorsville in Alexander County.
Right, and it runs pretty much alongside NC Highway 90, goes through places like Scotts, Stony Point.
Hiddenite, too. Headquarters are still in Taylorsville.
Keeping it local. And operationally, it's all about freight, right?
Yeah, primarily freight. We're talking roughly 2,500 carloads a year. Serves about 20 customers.
That's quite a bit for a short line. What kind of stuff are they hauling?
A lot of plastics, lumber, grain, pulpboard. The inputs and outputs of local industry. Historically, things like cement, sand, fertilizer, too.
Makes sense. The kind of bulk stuff that's just much easier to move by rail.
Their daily routine is pretty set. Morning trip down to Statesville.
For the interchange, that's the crucial bit.
Exactly. Swap cars with Norfolk Southern, connect local businesses to the national network, then head back to Taylorsville in the afternoon.
That NS connection is everything. It's the link to the wider world for those local companies.
They did run some passenger trips years ago, right? For railfan groups.
Yeah, the NRHS Junebug excursions, good for public engagement. Lets people see the line.
Let's talk about the engines, the motive power.
Okay. Started off renting, then got their first owned engine, a little GE 44-ton switcher.
Small but capable for the job then.
Perfect for short line work. Yeah. But they became kind of known for their Alco switchers, didn't they?
Yeah, the S3 models, number 6 and 7, apparently pretty rare sights down here in the Southeast.
And they kept them in that classic green paint scheme for a long time. Very distinctive.
Later, they added an EMD SW9, but now, the modern fleet.
Right. Today, they're running 4 EMD SW1500s, beefier units.
Built in 72, came from Southern Pacific and Union Pacific originally, numbers 9, 10, 11, and 12.
And they've got a mix of paint schemes now, some black and green.
Yeah, a bit of variation, but they still have that original G 44-tonner and the SW9 kind of as backups.
Good to have spares.
Yep.
And they maintain them themselves.
Yep. Got their own locomotive shop right in Taylorsville. Keeps things running.
That's a sign of a serious operation. So powering local industry. That's the core mission.
Absolutely. It's that freight transport for those, roughly 20 customers in Alexander and Iredell counties.
And we're talking some significant industries, right? Plastics is big there.
Huge. Companies like Automated Solutions, Isoflex, Berry, Paragon, Borealis, all rely on rail.
Lumber too, I imagine.
Definitely. Cedar Creek, Best Way, Liberty Bell, and Agriculture Mount Air, deal right.
So it's diverse. Grain, pulpboard, also things for companies like Toter, Pratt, SureTape, using different types of rail cars, hoppers, boxcars, tankers.
It really enables these businesses to handle bulk commodities efficiently, helps attract and keep them in the area. Plus, the railroad provides direct jobs, too.
That economic ripple effect is so important for these communities.
And just a quick clarification, sometimes people mention Rocky Face Mountain.
Ah, right. There was a railroad there, but it was a completely separate thing.
Yeah, an old quarry railroad, maybe 1920s to 1940s. Not connected to the Alexander Railroads line we're talking about. Different location, different era.
Good to keep that history straight. So bringing it to today.
Still running. An active Class 3 short line. Still that same 18-mile route.
Still doing that daily interchange with Norfolk Southern in Statesville.
Yep. Operational numbers are stable around 20 customers, about 2,500 carloads annually, using those SW1500s mainly.
So after, 78 years since the community saved it, it's still a vital piece of the local supply chain.
It really is. A thoroughly modern short line, reliable, doing its job day in, day out.
It's just a fantastic example of, local resilience paying off.
And the enduring value of this kind of community-focused railroad.
Yeah.
It survived when the bigger players wanted to walk away.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it? How many other, seemingly ordinary bits of local infrastructure around you?
Like roads, bridges, maybe small utilities.
Exactly. How many have these rich, vital histories that we just don't see, playing these crucial roles every day?
Yeah. What are the hidden stories in your own community? Something to ponder.